Oh my goodness, you guys, this is the ultimate betrayal we're talking about today, and trust me, you are not ready for this tea. We've got Kirk, Yandy, and Em caught in a web of lies so tangled that it's giving me heart palpitations just thinking about it. So picture this, Kirk Frost, yes, that Kirk Frost, just found out about a scandalous affair that has him literally 3 seconds away from completely losing it. And guess who's at the center of this tornado of drama? None other than Yandy. Can you believe it? This scandal is so massive, so utterly messy, that it makes all those previous Kirk and Yandy disasters look like child's play. I'm about to spill everything, from the juiciest secrets to those backstage threats that pushed Kirk to the edge where he's willing to risk everything. Grab your popcorn, honey, because this tea is absolutely scalding. I'm sitting here wondering, is this just another industry setup, or is Kirk actually going to confront Em face to face over this? And more importantly, when are we going to see Rashida's reaction? Because let's be honest, hip-hop enthusiasts and drama lovers like us live for this kind of chaos. When Kirk discovered what had been happening between Em and Yandy, he absolutely lost it. And we're not talking about some minor disagreement. This was a full-blown meltdown. This isn't just another run-of-the-mill cheating rumor. We're talking about the ultimate betrayal, friendships crumbling, alliances shifting, and a secret so shocking that even the most jaded reality stars are literally losing their minds. Listen up, Kirk was out for blood. Word on the street is that he is not letting this incident slide, so Em better watch his back. Kirk and Rashida's marriage has weathered so many storms, from side babies to humiliating public scandals. Everyone who follows hip-hop and love knows that despite Kirk's endless attempts to destroy her trust, Rashida somehow keeps their relationship intact. For years, Kirk and Em maintained what you might call a respectful distance. They weren't besties, but they weren't enemies either. Just two men navigating the same messy industry, traveling in the same chaotic circles while keeping their drama separate. But this time, oh honey, this isn't about Kirk making a mistake. This is about someone betraying him, and that changes everything. Sources say when Kirk found out absolute mayhem erupted, it seems Em and Yandy had been getting suspiciously close. This isn't some minor misunderstanding, it's a massive scandal that's been brewing under the surface for months. Let me tell you exactly what set Kirk off before we even get into his explosive reaction. People first noticed that Em and Yandy were spending more time together than usual. Because Yandy has always had that business relationship with Em, many people initially ignored it. She's that type, you know, managing her man's business, wielding influence, keeping everything professional. But when whispers start circulating, you know something's off. And those business meetings were covering up something much more personal. Kirk might not have cared if it had been someone else. Let's be real. He's cheated plenty of times himself and knows how the game works. But what made Kirk absolutely lose his mind wasn't just a simple cheating scandal. It was Em sneaking around, getting too close to Yandy, and making moves that had everyone questioning his loyalty. The worst part? Kirk had proof, not just hearsay, and that's when things went completely off the rails. In a shocking turn, sources reveal Kirk didn't just hear about what was happening, he saw it with his own eyes. He snapped photos. When I tell you Kirk got his hands on some serious receipts, text messages, late-night phone calls, and even some intimate pictures of Em and Yandy, I am not exaggerating. When Kirk saw those, he was ready to throw everything away. Kirk isn't the type to sit back while someone disrespects him. Sources claim Kirk, who always acts on impulse, wasted no time responding to those messages. He takes personal offense when someone disrespects him. Em and Yandy weren't prepared when Kirk showed up at Em's place without warning. No heads up, no phone call, just a direct confrontation. You know how these hip-hop and love stars operate. They'll have a screaming match but usually draw the line at physical altercations. But Kirk was on another level this time. According to witnesses, he was pacing back and forth, shouting threats, proving he knew every single detail of what had been going on. The craziest part? Em had no idea Kirk had discovered everything, and to make matters worse, Em allegedly tried to flip the script, saying Kirk had no right to be upset considering his own history of cheating scandals throughout his marriage. Big mistake. Kirk wasn't trying to hear any of that. He was so furious that security had to intervene. Em was shook when he realized he'd been caught. But this story gets even dirtier than you could possibly imagine. Everything changed dramatically when this next twist was revealed. According to additional sources, Em wasn't the only one sneaking around. Someone else had been acting very suspiciously too. The drama intensified when Kirk discovered this, and trust me, he was not ready for what happened next. Amid all this Em-Yandy obsession, another name surfaced. Just when Kirk thought he knew everything, the situation took a turn nobody saw coming. Kendra, Kirk's wife, was making her own moves behind the scenes. The woman married to Kirk's supposed friend Em wasn't as innocent in all of this as everyone initially thought. Yes, you read that correctly. And this next part will absolutely blow your mind if you thought Kirk was upset before. Up until now, Kirk believed he was dealing with a straightforward cheating scandal, a simple situation involving an affair between Em and Yandy. But now, it wasn't just about Yandy anymore. This was far more serious. Think about this. Kendra had been sneaking around with Em behind Kirk's back. And the worst part? Kendra had been lying about it the entire time. Kirk had been out here fighting and threatening to lose everything for Rashida's honor because he felt Yandy had done him dirty. But there were other betrayals involved, and when Kirk finally pieced it all together, he realized he'd been played. The details of this disaster are insane. Let me break it down for you. This hidden affair between Kendra and M didn't happen overnight. According to sources, it started with innocent, flirty messages. But things quickly spiraled out of control, leading to secret hotel bookings, late-night meetings, and business trips that had nothing to do with business. The receipts, I'm telling you, were shocking. We're talking screenshots of texts where M confessed to feeling trapped in his marriage and how Kendra understood him better than Yandy ever could. Kendra admitted she'd always had feelings for M and wished things had turned out differently, that they should have been together sooner. Now imagine Kirk. The final straw was discovering his own supposed ally was involved. Kirk, who thought he had everything figured out, believed only M and Yandy were acting inappropriately. At this point, Kirk was done being polite. It was time to expose everyone, not just M. And when I tell you he went all out, he started making demands and calling people out. The love and hip-hop cameras were rolling because this was reality TV gold. Let's talk about Rashida's reaction. Rashida has stood by Kirk through some of the most embarrassing moments in reality TV history. She's endured so much, but this time was different because Kirk was the victim. When Kirk sat Rashida down and told her everything, she was too exhausted to even speak. She just sat there, shaking her head, no screaming, no throwing things. The real question was what Kendra would say. Up until now, she'd been acting innocent, as if she was shocked by the drama between Yandy and M. But she panicked when she realized her name would be dragged into this mess too. Things took an even worse turn when Kendra tried to cover her tracks, claiming Kirk was making up the evidence and that he was the one pursuing her, not the other way around. But Kirk pulled out the voice recordings because screenshots weren't enough. Yes, you heard me right. Kirk had audio on top of messages. The recordings of her and M discussing how they planned to sneak around, lie to Yandy, and keep everything quiet made Kendra's face turn white. M and Kendra were caught, and you already know what happened on the internet after that. There was no way out at this point. No talking it out, no creating fake stories. When Yandy learned the whole truth, not just about M and Kendra, but everything, she did something no one expected. This is where the story takes its most shocking turn yet. Social media exploded with reactions. Fans went wild. Memes calling Kendra the biggest liar in LHH history were everywhere as people took sides. Yandy had been quietly dealing with the drama until now. She'd heard the whispers and seen the rumors but hadn't spoken up. Maybe she didn't want to believe it, or maybe she thought it would blow over. But when she discovered the complete truth, not just about M and Kendra, but everything, something inside her snapped. Believe me when I say you are not prepared for what happened next. Kirk's name was all over this disaster, baby, and Yandy decided she was done staying silent. When Kirk pulled out those receipts, let me tell you, Yandy didn't walk away like a victim. Instead of crying and playing the devastated wife, Yandy did something that left everyone speechless. "Oh, you all want to play games? Cool, let's play," she said, completely flipping the script. And she did. Before anyone could spin the narrative, before the internet could go crazy with theories, Yandy went live on Instagram and said, "Since everyone wants to talk, let's talk. Since you all want to be messy, let's be messy. You want the truth? Fine. Here it is." Staring directly into the camera, Yandy had the internet shaking. She not only confirmed the rumors but exposed every single shady aspect of M's relationship with Kendra, plus some unexpected truths about Kirk. Calmly, she began by telling everyone that she had been loyal to M for years, standing by him through all the drama, baby mama stories, jail time, scandals, only to receive the ultimate betrayal in return. Then she presented the receipts, voice notes, bank statements, screenshots, real evidence. She named specific names, locations of secret meetings, and even mentioned a side woman no one had ever heard about. But she saved the biggest bombshell for last, a recorded phone call, and not just any call. It seemed Yandy had come prepared with a whole PowerPoint presentation. The internet went absolutely crazy when Yandy played the call live. In the recording, M was begging an unknown woman to wait a little longer, saying he was handling things and was tired of pretending. M was on the phone with another woman, not Yandy, not Kendra, not even one of the other side women already mentioned. Looking straight into the camera, Yandy said, "Tell me, M, what exactly were you pretending about? Because it sounds like you've been living a whole double life." By this point, Yandy's followers were demanding an immediate divorce. M's name was trending worldwide and the memes were out of control. Not to mention, Kirk thought he was the one exposing M, which is another reason he was so shaken. The way Yandy completely turned everything upside down left him stunned. This Kirk Frost and M conflict is like a Hollywood blockbuster. If you thought previous hip-hop and romance scandals were wild, the internet is losing it over this one. This isn't just a minor disagreement, it's all-out war. Kirk Frost has been called out, exposed, and dragged for his past sins. Relationship drama isn't new to him, but this time, he's the one being played, and none of you saw it coming. M lit the match that set everything on fire, and the betrayal and lies run deeper than anyone imagined. This has been whispered about for weeks, explaining the tension between Kirk and Kendra. On Instagram, Kirk was acting like the perfect husband, posting cute couple pictures as if nothing was wrong. But behind the scenes, Kendra was behaving strangely, getting defensive when Kirk asked where she was going, always on her phone, even her closest friends giving her side eye. M noticed it too. He's had his share of drama with Yandy, but he's good at spotting lies, and something about Kendra's behavior bothered him. That's when the whispers started. Rumors, theories, and small facts at first. But then M was confronted with solid information that he didn't keep to himself. He discovered Kendra was engaging in risky behavior with someone Kirk knew and trusted. It all came to a head at a private industry party in Atlanta one night. With cameras rolling, VIPs everywhere, and high-end drinks flowing, Kirk walked in with positive energy, completely unaware his world was about to shatter. Everything changed when M saw Kirk. M was already there, positioned in the corner looking furious. Kirk tried to stay calm but could feel the tension. "Hey, how are you?" But M wasn't smiling. "You really walked out here looking stupid, huh?" M wasn't even blinking, and he definitely wasn't greeting Kirk with a handshake. Kirk tried to laugh it off as the room fell silent. "Man, what are you even talking about?" That's when M pulled out his phone, still staring at Kirk. "Tell me." Kirk's expression changed instantly when he realized M wasn't just talking. He had evidence. When M pressed play, Kendra's voice suddenly filled the room. Kirk went from standing tall to looking like he'd seen a ghost. He reached for the phone, but M pulled it away, maintaining the same intensity. Kirk was trying to keep his composure, but you could see the panic in his eyes. By this point, people had gathered around and the murmuring had started. M finally handed Kirk his phone. "Feel free to look through it. Read it yourself." Kirk hesitated, but when he did, the text messages, photos, timestamps, and worst of all, M wasn't even finished. "That guy she's been sneaking with is closer to you than you think." In that moment, Kirk's entire face transformed, from shock to anger to pure rage. The real chaos was just beginning as he read the messages over and over, jaw tightening, blood boiling, the truth finally sinking in, though his mind wasn't ready to accept it after all these years.